Right. Well, this might be boring for some. This is my life. Get off. Now, as you can see, I've got Harris fencing all the way at the back there. And then in between those gaps, I've got these grid things. Green camouflage grids. Which there's one over there. And I've took the door off the hinges of that shed. Screwed the door on to the side of it to make sure there was no gap. There was a tiny little gap and they got through, so then I took the fencing, oh daddy, took the fencing grid up there and I secured that bit there. So they've gone and done the whole of this side looking for an area that they can get out of, right? And they haven't been able to. Yay me. Don't yay me too bloody quickly, because we know with goats, the minute that you go and bloody congratulate yourself, not saying it, but that happens. And the other issue is they've all of a sudden fallen in love with the neighbour behind, and the neighbour behind has goodies like carrots and swede. And he feels like the Milky Bar giving all of that to my goats. He loves it. And that's fine. But the main objective is to stop them from blooming escaping. By September, I've got a whole month. So there I was today, looking at Harris fencing, 50 of them. That's nearly £2,000 worth of Harris fencing, on top of the £2,000 already bloody spent just to keep these goats, because I did try and get rid of them, which caused me a major amount of grief. I was crying for 3 days. Found a woman who ended up to be a bit of a waste of time, much to my farrier's delight. He laughed heartily at that, because he did the introduction. You're either going to love her or hate her. I know it'll be one of the two. Oh, you hate her. Little chuckle fest he had. So, you can't see much, but there's 2 or 3 goats behind this area here, all looking. Now, what this tells me is they've looked, Daddy's gone and looked. Daddy's gone, no, it's a no-go area. If I can't get out, then you lot aren't coming out. Now, Baby Noodles is decided to start joining the pack now. So this tells me they've gone behind the caravan. They're not going to be able to do that. Who's this? Bobo, get off. Bobo enjoying the views. So they definitely can't get out there, which is great. I love that. Try and skim it round a bit. It goes all the way round. Get off. Let's see. The idea is to see where the weak spots are. Look, now they're looking for another weak spot because they can't find one. Little bunny rabbit there. So we've got Harris fencing going. Oh, look, look. They test it. Now, they used to be able to get out in a spot over here, but I've secured all of that. I'm watching you. up to that point where that bush is. Testing the gate, which is padlocked. Now, luckily for me, they've got some bush coming out, because otherwise they've got no graze, and it's costing me an arm and a leg in hay. But this is the issue. Look how high they can get up. But the grid doesn't really give them much to lean on. The Harris fencing gives them something that they can climb on, but then they can't jump over it. So Wilbur's got in a paddy about that, and he's like, I know this area. This is where they come in. If that becomes the gap, then I know. And it's such a tiny gap. And there's literally no landing spot for them. What he's doing is he's trying to move it with his head. Little bunnies. Hello, bunnies. Thousands of bunnies here. The issue becomes, if one can do it, they can all do it. Wilbur. You can't see that, but there is grid going all the way along. I watch you, Wilbur. Hello, big boy. So you're going to try somewhere else now? So he's like, no. So then that tells the other goats, no, don't bother going there. That's a bit crap. Have to find somewhere else. Get off. Now, what they have done is this beautiful paddock here, because they've messed it all up. So now I've got to go and get more wood and paddock all of that bit up, because that on the left hand side is supposed to be my gardening area, but I definitely don't want them in there. And then I've got to go and double, triple reinforce that bit, right? And then down the bottom, a couple of extra posts, because they can't break in where the bush is, because the bush is too bushy for them. And they've damaged a bit by the shelters there. Right, so that tells me that the whole left-hand side and the whole of the top is secure. That's not where they're getting out. So where have they gone now? Behind It's just unbelievable, these goats. It must have gone behind it. Because they won't leave any strays. Yeah? Once one goes, they all fricking go. But right now, this is telling me that they're happy, they're satisfied, they've got some greys. I mean, they might be infiltrating a gap. They might be really homing in on a certain area, graze it down to create a gap. Which is annoying. But we got 4 or 5 goats in one area there, and that's not good. But yeah, again, there's grids going across there. Okay, so that's all of the goats. No, who's gone in there? One of the big boys has tried. And he said, no, it's not successful there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Problem is, Tink and Rocky now look exactly the same, and I really do not know which is which. If it wasn't for Billy wearing his collar, I wouldn't know the difference between Billy and blooming Bobo. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, I've also done, there was a gap there, and I've done a bit of fencing in that gap there. So even if they went to have a look, you're like, no, it's not happening. Continue play. I know that. Where is he? He's calling down to her. Pepper's saying, stop it. Piggy's answering back. I'm hoping, that is stunning, that they will just get so bored of it. There's Piggy. Piggy's like, I know there's a gap here. I know there's a gap here. And I'm like, no, there's not a freaking gap there anymore, Piggy. Okay. The issue is, the minute that my back's turned, gone. It's a fucking Krypton factor to find out where. Where? How? How did you do that? I mean, I'm willing to spend enough on this fencing that's absolute crap fencing anyway. But the very last resort, the very, very last resort is electric shocks round their neck. That's just horrible. It looks like they've gone into graze mode, no longer infiltrate mode. You've got a few of them who will still be looking at boundaries. And casing the joint.